Good morning. Welcome. Here's Mrs. Meenala Satyamurthy welcoming you on a Monday morning. Happy Monday, happy week ahead, all from Ekcel Academy. And even before I start, let me share something very interesting and absolutely only for you. Oh, here it is. Ekcel Academy says, enroll for the free CSEET crash course, excelacademy.com. Get free notes, practice quizzes, CSEET mock tests. And now, if you see further, are you studying the CS code? So for guidance and handholding, do a free sign up with Ekcel Academy and get regular updates about the course. What more do you want? I would have just jumped at this opportunity and above all, a free CSEET course, CSEET course. It's a crash course for those students who are appearing for their exams in the month of May. Stupendous opportunity provided by Ekcel Academy, courtesy Ekcel Academy. These people from Ekcel Academy who are working ceaselessly behind the screens are doing something marvelous for those students who are in need of a hand holding. And that too for having a broader vision to see that these students come out in flying colors. Who else can think about this? Who else can visualize the future of the students? Who else can think that these students must be somewhere in some high hand held post? It's only Ekcel Academy. And mind you, Ekcel Academy is doing a real wonderful job. Free! Does anyone offer free and doing so much of work? I don't think so. And now here we are. The reality is, yes, it's free. Why are you waiting? And why are you simply sitting and thinking, just enroll? Now, where to find the link, ma'am? Go to the YouTube and you shall find the link. And what else do you want? Nothing else. You get your free notes, you get practice quiz, you get your mock test all answered. So again, I'm here to welcome on behalf of Ekcel Academy, Mrs. Meenala Satyamurthy from Bangalore. So even before I could start and try to tell you certain tips, I wish you all the best for your forthcoming exams and wishing and blessing Ekcel Academy for a great future ahead and to carry on such magnanimous jobs that they are doing. Thanks to Ekcel Academy, I'm here with you once again for those who have seen me before also. Now, this time it's slightly different because variety is the spice of life. We never like to stick on to the same old routine. So here's something different coming from Ekcel Academy. So I'm sure you have seen this. So do a free sign up and we are there to guide you. We are there to handhold you and we are there to steer you through your exams very smoothly, just like a ship sails on a smooth sea. So come on, no more waiting, no more thinking. Let's begin. I'll stop this and then I'm going to just first initially guide you, tell you what I'm planning to do. Now here am I said to do certain things. As I was going through the syllabus of your CSEET course, especially only English, I was watching and rather observing and looking at the various papers and your content. and seeing what is asked frequently. Where is that place that requires practice? It's tricky. You need practice. You're frightened. You're scared. No, nothing. Why? Because we are here. So why should you be frightened? After all, nothing. We're there to handhold you, promising you a good future. So here we are. I'm to tell you that I did a little bit of homework. And now when I did a little bit of homework, browsing, going through here and there and looking on to see what's best that could be captured by you people in this short span of time. Everything put in a capsule and given it to you like this. Once you swallow a capsule, by 24 hours, the effect goes. So in here, you will see the effect increase. Why? Every day, everything comes in a capsule of 1 hour. I felt certain tips should be shared with you. Now, I'm going step by step. First thing. Second thing that I'm trying to do, yes, let me share the whiteboard and tell you what I plan to do. Yes, first thing I'll be doing is step by step. As I told you, it is step by step. I hope the screen could be seen. Yes. The next thing that I wanted to tell you is I'll be first starting with the comprehension passage known as RC, which is nothing but reading comprehension. The next thing that I'll be doing is para jumbles. That is, the paragraphs are given and how to answer them in the easiest, safest, most important, the quickest manner. So this is the step-by-step work that I'm going to do. Comprehension passages, let me tell you, will be dealt daily, I must tell you, because it's something that I cannot do one day and leave it. No, I will be doing it daily. Para jumbles, idioms and phrases, vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, your business letter topics, I'll be doing, that will go on. For that, I put on a limited amount of time. But in my 1 hour of time, at least some time will be reserved for RC, which is known as reading comprehension. So for this RC, which I'm using the term, that is reading comprehension, don't get worried. What is RC? It's not RC cement or anything. R stands for reading, C stands for comprehension. What are the important tips? As soon as we see the passage, we get frightened. Why? The length. The next, the vocabulary. So I hope you have noted this down. This is the first class. So this is what I plan to do. So I'll rub this out, erase it, and come back to you. Two seconds, sorry. It might be taking time, you think, but I want to keep the board clear for my next writing that I would like to do. So that's the reason. And so let this notes be there. So we shall move on. So now here I share a screen, which I thought is extremely important for all of you to see through and to do. Now, what is this that I plan to do? Yes. Yes. I have said something called tips to solve the RC, that is the reading comprehension. I have said there's 5 important tips. Now, what are these 5 important tips that I'm talking about? I told you, as soon as we see the comprehension passage, we get scared, we get frightened. One is the length, next is the words used, and then we have that habit of reading through. Now, look, this is a competitive exam. You have to work hard, but in a smart way. So, the smartest way to approach this comprehension passage is immediately see this first one, scan the questions. First is scan the questions. Don't start reading the passage from the beginning till the end. Your precious time is just gone. You have 35 questions. Imagine 5 marks for this. So please don't sit on it at all. Immediately go to the questions. After scanning the questions, what you do, scan on the passage for a quick glance. Once you get scan on the passage, remember one more clue. To get the main idea, you must read always the first paragraph. Read the first paragraph to get the main idea. And look at this. To get the conclusion or the summary, you have to read the last paragraph. How beautiful. We never thought about it at all. We said, oh, comprehension passage. You know, that negative feeling we develop in ourselves and make that mind control us. Tell the mind, no, I will control you. I am the master. You are my slave. You act according to what I want to do. So make up your mind, scan the questions. Once you scan the questions, you will immediately take up the important word that you think, go back to the paragraph where you want the answer. Now for vocabulary, vocabulary is something that is very important. You must try to read the sentence, think about that word and see how it is used. I shall clear all this so you will be able to understand. So as I said, 5 important tips. I'm repeating it because this 5 important tips I may not be able to repeat in every class. I'll just start the passage as we start. The next is scan the questions. That is the most important word, scan. The next is scan again, but this time the passage. The next is to get the main idea, read the first paragraph. To get the conclusion, read the last paragraph. For the vocabulary, read the sentence, think about the use of that word, and then go back, you will get it. With this basic information to you as to how you can solve the comprehension passage or the RC, the reading comprehension. Now, I have got a passage for you. Let's look into it and solve accordingly. Let's solve accordingly. And then I shall go through the chats. If there's anyone, you can answer. If not, you can put your doubts. I can go through it tomorrow. If not, I shall tell you myself how this one could be right and this one could be wrong. So what is the right answer? So with this background, now I move on to the reading comprehension. Today, it may take a little time being the first class, but doesn't matter. We shall move quickly as we go on. So please hold on. Yes. Here's the comprehension passage that I was thinking. So let's go on to the questions. What was the first step I told you? I said, let's go on to the questions. So sorry, I shall adjust. Yeah. And let's move on. See the length, it looks big, doesn't matter. Yes. Now, what is the first question? As first day, so first question. Otherwise, we shall scan the questions together since I'm doing it for the first time. Which of the following statements is R/R correct regarding the 2008 elections of Bhutan? India helped Bhutan in elections by sending officials from Election Commission of India. First point. Second point, monks and nuns were not allowed to vote. Third point, wearing national dress on election day was compulsory. The choices all will be MCQ type, so you don't have to worry. But don't play the game of inky pinky ponky. You never know the luck how it favors. All are correct. Second and third are correct. First and third are only correct. First and two are only correct. I would like to go back to the passage now. Yes, the very first word you have seen is elections. So you know something of elections is there in that first paragraph. Excuse me. So you see, the main idea is elections. You got it in the first paragraph. So now it says about India sent people to elections over there. Monks and nuns were, oh, sorry. Okay, that's the thing it said. So if you see, India has helped out by sending officials from the election commission. So that was a true statement. Next, when you come down, can you just see a little, if you come down, monks and nuns are not allowed to vote. Okay, because they didn't want to wear mixed religion and politics. If you have noticed, all voters must wear their national dress on polling day. It says. So we got the 3 points. Now let's go back to the question, see how fast you solved it. How quickly you solved it. Okay, India helped Bhutan in elections by sending officials from Election Commission of India. Monks and nuns were not allowed to vote. Wearing national dress on election day was compulsory. The answer is all are correct. How simple. If there's any chat, let me see. I don't know if you people have chatted or not. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. I'll continue with my work. You can see it whenever you're free. Let's move on. Okay. So the next one that I wanted to do, yes, second question. Yes. So this is the one which is correct. Now let's see the second question. Now, let me tell you the proper nouns, we may have a little problem in our pronunciation. No. Just this. No, it's not so much. Okay. Who is Ashi Sanghe Shodan Wangchuk as mentioned in the passage? The elected Prime Minister of Bhutan, the elected President of Bhutan, Queen Mother of Bhutan, none is correct. Okay, let's see what it is. So we have already got these options and you do get something like this. So now you have, oh, some Ashi Sanghe Chodan Wangchuk you got is one of the Queen Mothers of Bhutan. So you got your answer. You have not even read the whole passage, mind you. Up till now, neither have I read nor you have read. Of course, yesterday I did my homework, so I read. But otherwise, for you, it's a new thing. So you have not read so far. So look how you got your answer. The Queen Mother of Bhutan. So if by this time, if you were sitting and reading it like this, even on the question paper, which is right in front of your eyes, imagine the amount of time you would have taken. Unless and until you are a voracious reader, it would not have moved fast with these words. So it will take some time. Even for us, it will take time because reading comprehension is not easy. So just you scan the question, you got the answer. I'm in the second paragraph. Okay, so that is the thing. Now let's go on. So we already finished 2. Now the third one. Consider the following statements regarding the Mojo Park as mentioned in the passage. It is situated in the northeast India. It is famous for its music shows. It is situated in the city of Thimphu. All are correct. Second and third only. 1 and 3 only. 1 and 2 only. So northeast, music, Thimphu. So let's go back. Okay. Have you seen Thimphu? Most fun night spot Mojo. The best music in town. So Bhutan, northeast, correct? Near Kolkata. So correct. So music, Thimphu, northeast. So fine. You got your answer. You will not have this problem of scrolling up and down, but I will have this problem because the passages I'm doing it online for you. So what will happen? You will gain this time because it's just going up and down. So you will save a little more time, and I have to be a little slow because I can't hurry up. All are correct. So third one, which of the following statements is correct as given in the passage? Polyandry is not practiced in Bhutan. Polygamy is practiced in Bhutan. There is not a single female member in Bhutan's parliament. None is correct. Which of the following statements is correct? Only thing, please remember, the question must be read carefully. I know the options should be read too, but if you don't even read the question, make an attempt. You're as it is skipping the scanning the passage. I don't use the word skip. I say scanning. So please take a little time that you save from reading the passage in detail to the reading of the questions, which must be read with a little amount of care. I'm using the word little because you cannot spend your time again wholly on that. So which of the following statements is correct as given in the passage? So among the four, which is correct is asked. So polyandry is not practiced in Bhutan. Polygamy is practiced. There is not a single female member in Bhutan's parliament. None is correct. So I have to go back. And as I told you, in yours, there is no issue at all. You just go back to the top. Yes. Yes, I did get the word. It's very simple. Sometimes what happened, your eyes should move here and there. Sometimes it's the starting of the next paragraph. So you see, and see the heading here, not so equal. That itself should show you there is something inequality persisting over there. Polygamy is practiced in some parts. It says not there. So is polyandry. That is also practiced. Divorce and settlements are equal and equal-handed, even-handed, fine. So Bhutanese women lag behind in one place. It counts parliament. In the last National Assembly, 3/4 of the 47 seats had only male candidates. 9 had female. 4 were elected as MPs. So you cannot say there was no female representation at all. So polygamy is practiced, polyandry is practiced, and therefore women are there in the parliament. It might not be to a majority. There is that inequality persisting over there, but then it was very much prevalent. So now let's go back to our question. So you got your answer. Polyandry is not practiced. No, it is practiced. Polygamy is practiced. Okay, fine. There is not a single female member in Bhutan's parliament. None is correct. So polygamy is practiced is correct. So that's the answer. Next, why was the candidate, campaigner, or voter not allowed to wear any sign of rank or royal patronage in the 2008 elections of the country. You remember we had seen the word elections. We had also seen the word that they have to wear national dress. You may not remember which paragraph in that examination tension and the surrounding ambience of the hall. Doesn't matter. Leave it across. We'll just go back to say, not allowed to wear any sign of rank or royal patronage. He's not talking about dress, mind you. He's saying a royal rank or patronage. So let's move on. Yes. All voters must wear the national dress on polling day, but no one, the candidate, the campaigner, the voter, is allowed to wear the kabini silk and the yantang scarf of honor for men and women respectively, bestowed only by the king, patang, or any other sanguine of rank or royal patronage, to avoid the misuse of influence. The reason they allow only national dress is different. They don't allow any rank or badge is because they want to avoid the misuse of influence. As I wear the army badge, people can recognize I'm from the army and I hold the rank of a brigadier or a colonel, a major, or whatever it is. But here it's so very clear. It says they are not supposed to wear those things that are given because they have to avoid a misuse of influence. Now, what was it said in our passage? So let's see. Yes. Why was it not allowed? Remember this time I said questions should be read very clearly. Why? To neglect the misuse of influence of wealthy and famous people. Due to some kind of superstition, to neglect, both are correct, none is correct. You've got an answer to neglect the misuse of influence of wealthy and famous people. Consider it says to avoid over there. Okay, to avoid, to neglect the influence, to make it the same. Consider the following statements regarding the Kyuchu Lakang as given in the passage. He was the first prime minister of Bhutan. It is one of Bhutan's old monasteries. It was built in 7th century. So prime minister, oldest monasteries, built in 7th century. 1 and 2 only. All are correct. 1 and 3 only. 2nd and 3rd only. So either 2 are correct or all are correct. That is the idea you should have. Because if you've seen the choices, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, and all are correct. So let's see what is it about this. So let's go back. Yes. Here only. The Kyuchu Lakang, Bhutan's oldest and simplest monasteries, believed to be constructed in 659 CE by Tibetan king and has a link to the temple. So it says one is, it's always I land in Paro, it's oldest and simplest monasteries. Okay, so what did it say? Bhutan's oldest monasteries. Okay, that means the second one is correct. Okay, so here you have second only in D. It was built in 7th century. Yes, it was built in 7th century. So that means to say, okay, we have 2 and 3 only. That is the answer. Choose the word which is most similar to the word printed in bold in the passage. It may be printed, friends, it may not be printed. Please don't have that idea that it can be printed. Most of the times it is not printed because of the fact it is mainly for these competitive exams. So they want you to work smart. So scrolls and it has document, aimless, rolling, none is correct. Rolling, you know, that's what I'm doing, up and down, up and down, up and down now for you. That is rolling only. So You may think that is right, but you know in mind, your heart of heart, that is not correct. That is not correct. So you may have something else. You can go for aimless, or you can go for a document, or you can say none is correct. Let's check. Similar. See, most similar means same meaning. The other word that could be used is also synonym. It need not always be most similar. It may be same meaning. It may be even be synonym. So when here is very clear that it is being highlighted. So we are very lucky. So yes, scrolls. The museum is dedicated to the present, to preserving the oldest and the rarest woven fabrics worn in Bhutan and used in the religious scrolls and thangkas, religious scrolls. So automatically you know the meaning of it, that it is nothing but religious documents. So it is nothing but religious documents. So we go back onto the answer that it is religious documents. Okay. Okay, next one. Again, choose the word which is most similar to the word printed in bold in the passage. Outskirts, downtown, away, center, periphery. So downtown, in the middle of somewhere near the downtown, away from the town, in the center, periphery is nothing but the boundary, this thing. So similar to what is known as outskirts. So let us go to outskirts. Okay. New Thara, Lakang, and that on the outskirts. Yes. Come. Here you are. Misogyny. Yeah. On the outskirts of Thimphu. So on the periphery. It's not in the center heart of the city. It's not away from the city. It's on the periphery. So it's on the boundary, on the other side. So that is the meaning here of outskirts. Now, if you have seen, the next one is misogyny, and let's see what it means. Misogyny. Choose the word which is most opposite to the word printed in bold in the passage. Laden, empty, full, charged, encumbered. Automatically, it can be empty, but just to make you cross-check once more, I'll take you to the passage, because at this point of time, all year round, one is welcome with huge, spectacular and miraculous orange tree laden with fruit, filled with fruit. So here it means to say it is filled with fruit. Remember, we're only speaking of orange. That's why we never write fruits. When fruits of different types are there, then we say fruits. So laden with fruit, completely filled. So the opposite of it is empty. That is the meaning. So it doesn't have any fruit there. Choose the word which is most opposite to the word printed in bold in the passage. So misogyny, women hater, sexist, feminist, none is correct. Let me, if in case you have a confusion about this word, better to go to the paragraph and it will tell you, yes. Here, what happens is, you were talking about the seats and you remember about that. So 47 seats at male candidates and 4 women were elected as MPs. Misogyny plays only one part of it, explains the only leader of a party, Lily Wangcha, who runs a hotel in downtown Thimphu. Women just don't for women, and the lack of women role models in modern Bhutan becomes a vicious cycle. So the opposite of it is feminist. The opposite of it is feminist. It's not women hater. It's not sexist. It's not none is correct. It's feminist. So I started the class at 11, no doubt, but I did have the introduction. I did have so much of speaking to be done. Then I started. So in your first class, even before it is 10, 15 minutes, even before that time, I have finished the passage. And that is because I've scrolled up and down for each one, and I'm explaining to you. So you can imagine if you follow this method of practicing, so how much of speed you will acquire. There are ample passages in your own textbook. So if you could do that passage one per day in this same speed, in the same manner, that is scanning the questions, scanning the passage. The first paragraph gives the central idea. Last paragraph, the conclusion idea, the summarization part, and vocabulary. Check the meaning and you get the word meaning for that word. So if you practice in this manner, keeping this 5 tips on your mind, scan can never be forgotten. So scan square. First one is also scan. Second one is also scan. Main idea, last idea. So third one is main idea. Fourth one is last idea. Last one is vocabulary, because vocabulary is bound to be there in your comprehension. No matter if it's opposites or fill in the blanks or find the meaning, it's bound to be there. So if you follow this, you can do your comprehension, or the so-called RC, or the reading comprehension, very well. So tomorrow I do one more and I'll take a little quicker time. So when I do that, probably you can get the answers faster. So tomorrow you may not get, doesn't matter. Let's try again day after and we shall do it. So when we do it like this, what happens is this practice makes perfect. You, for all these, you will have to practice, keep a certain amount of time. Everything is time bound. Every little thing is time bound. So do like this and your comprehension passages are going to be good for you. You don't have to leave the questions. You can answer it and put 5 marks into your pocket. How nicely we can do it. How simply we can do it. I never thought as an English teacher too, it could be so easy also in competitive exams. Whereas how do we teach children in the normal manner? To read. So follow this. Yes, this is so much so for the RC. This is so much so for the reading comprehension. So yes, fine. This is in case of reading comprehension. The next thing that I would like to take you through to today, for today's class, is para jumbles. Now, this is very intriguing, and at the same time, it requires a little thinking. So we shall start what it really actually means. So para jumbles, I shall share this. Yes. Now, what happens is this is an excerpt that I have taken. There is no doubt about it at all. So usually para jumbles, they start with a topics. Paragraph always starts with the topic sentence. The sentence introduces the topic and the main domain are the core of the paragraph, and then supporting sentences follow. Then you get sometimes information, you get illustrations or examples. Concluding is the last one, the whole thing. Now, the basic idea in this is the paragraph will be in this order: the topic sentence, supporting sentence, concluding sentence. Now, here we have got to do some kind of practice. Now, what is the practice that they have to do, or what are you expected to do? In all the question papers that I did go through, this was one of the most commonly asked questions apart from your reading comprehension. Something which is there in all the papers. So I thought I should pick this up first, because this too, there's a chat there. Okay. So this is very much there, and this is quite important. So if you think of it as let me tell you one thing. At the beginning itself, think, I can do it. A simple sentence. I can do it. So go with that open mind and forget what type of question can be asked. You can do it, right? You're capable of it. So go ahead. Now in this para jumble, so it says, following are a few examples that we will be answering the jumble paragraphs. In the question, sentence from 1 to 4 are present. These sentences are all part of a paragraph, but do not necessarily fall in the order that they are in. Find the correct word order from the options that are given at the end. Yes, here you have the what is known as the para jumbles, as I told you. So the main thing that propelled the development of the aeroplanes at such a fast pace was, however, the First and the Second World War. An aeroplane was a wonderful invention of its time, but its use as a main means of transport was adopted later only, done later. Sometimes some even say that it was greatest inventions of all time. Now there are options. A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. Now he says the correct option is B. Now, why do we say it's B? So let's go back. The second one is the correct sentence. Have you seen the sentences? Now, when you are reading these 4 sentences, immediately it should you keep in your mind which is the starting sentence, which is the closing sentence that comes into your mind. See the first one, the development of aeroplanes at such a fast rate was the First and Second World War. He's giving you the reason as to why the aeroplanes developed faster and what was the reason. Then he says, an aeroplane was a wonderful invention of its time. Then when you go to the third one, his main use is what developed later for public or whatever he's telling you. Now, what is the fourth one? He says, it is the greatest inventions of all time. Now, if you think about this it here and say it, what is it here? It does not have any meaning. You cannot start the sentence with it at all. It should be in the beginning. It should be either some subject should be there. So in the middle it says it, you do not know. So you know very well it cannot be started. But that means it is a continuation of something else. So that cannot come as a first sentence. How you can make out very fast. So you should look in for words. And then here it's saying the reason for its development. So what is the reason for that? Its development, aeroplane. Automatically, aeroplane was a wonderful invention of its time. So that will be the first answer. Okay, now the next one. So you will have to put this as what is known as first. Automatically, you'll get this as first. Now, which is the second one among this? So he said B is the first answer, and then he says fourth is the next answer. Fourth, 3 and 1. Okay, some even say that it was the greatest inventions of all time. Here, this it has a meaning because this it is now referring to the aeroplane. So this will become the second. Okay, then it says 3, but its main use as a means of transport was adopted later only. So this we shall rub it out later only. So this is third. And then the fourth says the main thing that propelled the development of the aeroplanes at such a vast pace was the First and the Second World War. So this is the fourth. Now we'll see what explanation he has given us. The topic sentence introduces the aeroplane as the greatest invention. Now we'll follow the topic sentences. The topic sentence was aeroplane, and then it is this thing that is 4. The second one was it developed because 4, 2, and then what was the answer over here? B. Yeah, the second one was 4th, the third one was 3rd, and the last one is 1. So 4th is 3rd. Yes. So once again, I'll repeat for your sake. The main thing in this 4 sentences is the aeroplane. That is the crux of the whole 4 sentences. So aeroplane was a wonderful invention of its time. First one. Some even say it was one of the greatest inventions of all time. Oh, those 2, that it was. I should have used that. Some even say that it was one of the greatest inventions of all time. So this is the second. But its use as a main means of transport was adopted later only. That is the third. Ultimately, what is the conclusion of this? The fact that the propelled the development of the aeroplanes at such a fast pace was not as a means of transport. It was, however, the First and the Second World War. Okay, so this is the way the paragraph has to be answered. Now, coming to the conclusion of how to look at paragraph jumbles. So when you have to look at para jumbles, now let me use the Microsoft board. So I'm here sharing it. So the very first thing is that you have to look in for is, the opening and closing. You have to look in for the opening and the closing of the sentence. And now when you say opening, that will give you the main idea. So here in this, what I taught you was nothing but aeroplane. So it was about the aeroplane. And then you must just check any linking words. That's why I said, so the linking words like but, as a whole, all this you should look into. Above all, accordingly. Then you can also say as well as, consequently, everything. Check up if there are any pronouns. Oh, sorry. Check up if there are any pronouns. So check up if there are any pronouns. Once you check up this, it can be very helpful. So I'll just erase all this and get back to you. Yeah, this is better. Yeah. So first thing is nothing but, as I said, read as a whole. Read as a whole. All the 4. Second is find the main, and next is conclusion sentence. So this is the second part that you are doing. And when you are doing this, you also identify if there are any pairs. identify the pairs. Okay, which could be linked by those connecting words like but, as, or anything, etc., etc., like this. And then also look up for what is known as transitional words, which says like this: above all, as well as, consequently, as these words. Also look for pronouns. If pronouns could also be the subject, if there is no such main heading, it could be a subject. So if there is aeroplane and then it says it, looking for this. So depends upon he, she, or it, or they, looking for that also. And finally, come to the conclusion. So what I would do is, now, as I told you, have just started with this. Now tomorrow it will be again an exercise. When I just read it as a whole, I find the main, the conclusion, the pairs, and then looking for the transition words. Ultimately, I find if there are any pronouns to link about and come to a conclusion. So when I do this exercise in front of you, you get into the hangover of how to do it, how I should do it. So you can follow it whenever you want. You can switch it on, you know, the YouTube link you have, you can follow it rapidly. So once you follow it, and if you try it on your own, keeping this in the background, automatically you will get your answers. This is how the para jumbles are done. This is how you will solve it. So repeating once again for your sake, read it as a whole. All the 4 or the 5 sentences, read it as a whole. Find the main one and the concluding one. If there are any pairs, find out. Looking for words like but, as, so, if anything is used. Looking for transition words like above all, as well as, consequently, as a result of, furthermore, however, besides, although, even though, nevertheless, all such things, please find out. Looking for pronouns. Aeroplane, it. Ram, he. Sita, she. Like this, something looking for that. And ultimately, the concluding statement. So when we look into this, automatically we rearrange. So when you know, if you found out the first statement, now when I said aeroplane, B only will be the first. So go to the option where B is marked. So look, there'll be 2 with the same to make you get confused. So look, keep those 2 and then start eliminating. This will work quicker. The tip, when you start practicing, do it time bound. Just put the clock on starting time. Don't worry about the ending time. Do it time bound. Automatically, the time will decrease. Mark my words. Practice makes a man perfect. How does a man who runs so fast reach 100 meters, starting and ending point in less than a minute? It's just practice. How he would have clocked his time. There is nothing impossible in this world. You can do this course within no time. You can just crack it, I'm telling you. But do this step. So do it every day. You want to do work, you will see as you do, and when you get the hang of it, automatically the very next day, instead of doing 2, you would have done 4. So today I have dealt with reading comprehension and para jumbles. Now tomorrow will be the exercise of both. That is, I will do the comprehension passage with the 5 tips that I have kept in mind and that I have shared it with you. And I shall also do the para jumbles with these points in mind and attack the para jumbles from here. Of course, we do take sentences from here and there so that you get used to it. And I shall take your examples from your textbook also if I find to, so that you can get used to it. Then later we'll work on the question papers. So tomorrow will be the practice of this. I hope you have understood. There's still one time probably I'll erase this a little. Yes. So we'll do that. So what will happen is you will get to know it. So in that bargain, you will understand what I have done today. So we shall practice it. Let me see if I can give you one more practice of this. Yes. This is a little big sentence. If I, 4. Okay. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre is one of the classic 19th century novels in English. It describes a love affair between the eponymous heroine, a governess, and an aristocratic master, Rochester. The novel ends with the marriage of Jane and Rochester after Jane has become both professionally and economically independent. Jane's struggle for independence marks the novel as centrally engaged with the oppression of women in 19th century England, with the possibility of their liberation from constricting roles of subservience to the male masters. So, very first clue is Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre is one of the classic 19th century novels in English. If you have seen, except for the fourth one, this one begins with an article, this one begins with an it. We don't know what it is. So this is the 19th century novel. Now here what has happened is you're very lucky. It has, so you have the option ACDB. Okay, so A is the first one according to us, ACBD, ABDC. Now can C be there? The novel ends? No. So first option is gone. Second one is again gone because it says C is second. C can't be second. Third option, B. It describes a love affair. Okay, fine. Let's think. Then fourth, it says it marks this thing. No. So this will be correct automatically. ABCD answer is 4. The sentences have been arranged in that manner. So let me repeat. It's one of the classic 19th century novel. Correct. Then it becomes here in the C, it says the novel ends. We don't even know what is the starting of the novel. How can you talk about the ending of the novel? So automatically B is the answer. The novel ends with what? This. And then talking about the author, the struggle of Jane in the novel. So, and how Charlotte Bronte has done it. So this is how it goes on. This is how you should look into the starting, the ending, the pronouns, the connectivity, and the conclusion. So this is the first, the story starting, the story ending, and you're talking about the struggle of the heroine in the novel, how she struggles with the way women were oppressed in the 19th century England and how they liberated themselves from the role of subservient of to their masters, how they liberated themselves. So that is the entire summarization of the whole thing. So with this, I would like to say how this has become. So now tomorrow we shall be doing comprehension and para jumble exercises to make it a clear-cut, thorough part in your system. So it just gets registered into your system. Take care, you may not be there, but listen to every day's video so that it would help you. I hope these tips would go a long way in solving your answers for the exam, and this would be certainly useful if you could apply it in the same manner. With that note, thank you so much. Have a lovely day and a lovely week ahead. And here's Meenala signing off for today for the first day's class. Thank you and thanks a lot.